Well, hello, Missouri, and congratulations on making it to Monday. I know I speak for my colleagues when I say we're really excited to talk to you about these interesting issues today. My name is Anthony Arapino. I'm an environmental attorney in Montpelier, Vermont, and I'm very pleased to be judging nationals on Monday for my first time. I'll ask my colleagues to introduce themselves.
Hi, I'm Pat Long. I am a retired Superior Court Commissioner from California.
My name is Joe Stewart, and I'm in the Political Science Department at Clemson University. And it's good to talk to I talked to some of your colleagues the other day. I get to talk to a different group of Missouri students today. It's great to see you here. Congratulations on being in the top 10.
Hi, my name is Curtis Stump, and like the rest of my colleagues, I'm a senior at Westminster, and next year I will attend the University of Kansas.
Hi, I'm Emily Sherman, and in the fall I will be attending Dordt College.
Hi, I'm Kevin Goldfarb, and in the fall I will be attending American University.
And who's the teacher that helped you get here today?
This time I'd like to recognize our coach, Mr. Ken Besh.
Thank you. Well, it won't be a surprise to you that our question today is number one, but for the benefit of all your supporters here and friends, I'm going to read the question fully, and then we'll look forward to your answer and a conversation to follow. An American scholar claims that, quote, because democracy is a government by persuasion and deliberation, it implies the existence of what in the British tradition is known as the loyal opposition. So long as the opposition is attached to the fundamental principles upon which democratic government is based, organized opposition to the prevailing government is not only legitimate but essential to its proper functioning. Do you agree or disagree, and why? How would you describe or define loyal opposition, and how would you distinguish it from obstructionism? What purposes does/should loyal opposition serve in a democracy? You may begin.
We agree with Hollowell's claim that loyal opposition is an essential aspect to the proper functioning of a democratic government for several reasons. First, loyal opposition within political parties can lead to more effective governance. During the 1960s, Martin Luther King Jr. changed the atmosphere of civil rights on Capitol Hill with his nonviolent demonstrations in Birmingham.
After the Democratic President John F. Kennedy introduced the Civil Rights Act in 1963, it was met with intense opposition by the Southern bloc of conservative Democrats, who launched a filibuster. Through the process of triangulation, liberal Democrats gained the crucial support of Senate Minority Leader Everett Dirksen, whose influence was key to the final passing of the Civil Rights Bill.
In addition, the minority opposition to the health care bill is based upon the fundamental democratic principle of the consent of the governed. Many Americans feel as if the Democratic majority in Congress has legislated with disregard to their constituents' wishes and without their consent. Rasmussen Report recently released a poll stating that only 21% of Americans feel as if the government has the consent of the governed, and 55% of voters want to see health care immediately repealed.
Loyal opposition is the organized dissent provided by non-governing minority parties that is not seditious and seeks to reform the government, not destroy it. Ultimately, loyalty to democratic principles trumps loyalty to fleeting political leaders. A forceful opposition may not guarantee better governance, but its absence will almost certainly guarantee worse.
This phenomenon is clearly evidenced in the time preceding the ratification of the Constitution in the debate between Federalists and Anti-Federalists. Their opposition resulted in many compromises and ultimately led to the addition of what is now one of the most cherished documents in our democracy, the Bill of Rights.
Furthermore, in the United States, the turnover of power to the Jeffersonian Republicans in the presidential election of 1800 established the precedent of loyal opposition for the future. Thomas Jefferson viewed his election as one of America's greatest political victories, vindicating his belief that the sovereign people formed together in opposition would repel the Federalist attacks on their liberties, such as in the Alien and Sedition Acts.
However, loyal opposition distorts into treason when it becomes unattached to the national interests or the common good of society. One such example occurred just last month, when members of a rural Michigan-based militia were arrested after plotting to attack police officers in hopes of inciting a violent uprising against the government.
Recently, the Republicans have been accused of turning their loyal opposition against the Democratic agenda into obstructionism, effectively stymieing much of the Democratic legislative program. Democrats accuse the Republicans of being the party of no, instead of making compromises to do what is best for the American people. The Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid said, quote, that while Bush Republicans may be the real winners in the game of obstruction, the American people have lost.
The practice of loyal opposition should serve multiple essential functions in a democracy. First, opposing parties have the effect of producing a high order of debate, and this in turn plays a part in the development of social policy.
In the words of James Madison in Federalist 51, the second party system is, quote, a system where partisan ambition serves to counteract partisan ambition, taming the national majority and taking the fangs out of majority rule, end quote. For example, since the presidency of George Washington, politically diverse presidential cabinets have served a crucial role in fueling loyal opposition.
Second, opposition is a voice to minority opinions. In 1860, the Republican Party was a nascent party, formed from Whigs, disaffected Northern Democrats, and anti-slavery suspension activists. It served as a voice for blacks in Congress. Frederick Douglass stated, quote, I recognize that the Republican Party is the sheet anchor of the colored man's political hopes and the ark of his safety.
Lastly, loyal opposition serves to protect the fundamental interests of the Constitution. In 2005, 2 years after the Bush administration passed the No Child Left Behind Act, 7 states objected to the legislation, calling it an intrusion on state control of education and a violation of the 10th Amendment. We are now ready for your follow-up questions.
Thank you very much. In your opening presentation, that you said that loyal opposition crosses the line when it goes toward treason and talks about using violent means. But I'm wondering, is that really? I mean, if we could agree that that's across the line, is that exactly where the line between obstructionism and opposition? Loyal opposition exists, or are there other criteria that we could use to judge besides just resort to violence?
I don't think there's one measuring stick for the issue of loyal opposition, because I mean, you can, in saying that that's the issue of violence, you can look at the Italianists and saying that were not justified at all in their revolution from the English.
In addition, I think one of the important matters when trying to find the line between opposition and obstructionism is what the principles of the opposition are attached to. So in the case of the revolution in America, the opposition was attached to people's natural rights, and they had the Lockean right to revolution because the British government was imposing unjust practices upon them.